Welkom by die nuwe seisoen van Nisboere. Laveld Agrochem het hierdie keer bekende Suid-Afrikaners genooi om saam met ons te ontdek hoe, waar en deur wie die kos op jou tafel geproduseer word. Hierdie week neem Philip Venter vir Gerard Steyn na 'n plaas in Magubas Kloof in die hartjie van Limpopo.
Gerard, kan jy net asseblief vir ons 'n bietjie agtergrond gee oor jou?
So ja, uit die hart van die saak ken mense my vir die een groot sang wat vir ons die deure oopgemaak het. Vir my, in my geval was dit Baby Chocolates geweest.
Ja.
En ek is baie gelukkig om na dit nog 'n klomp treffers te gehad dat jy weet, jy's my hartklop, diamante vir jou, dimpels, Afrikaanse meisies, om net 'n paar te doen. En dan natuurlik onlangs groter as skool dat my net sit liedjie wat uitgekom het en is ook al reeds 'n treffer. So baie dankbaar daarvoor en natuurlik ook 'n TV-aanbieder saam met my mede-partner in crime, Elvin Breiners op Konings van Kitskos. Ja, ek is maar in die vermaaklikheidsbedryf die laaste 20 jaar en dit is my passie, dis my lewe en ja, wat 'n voorreg, dankie dat julle my genooi het.
Ek kry die idee dat jy moes op 'n plaas groot geword het.
Ja.
Want daai song Afrikaanse meisies praat jy en jy sing met passie van boerdery.
Absoluut.
So is dit so.
Ek sing met passie altyd oor meisies. Ag, ek bedoel oor boerdery. Nee. Weet jy, ek het die heel eerste ding wat ek my lewe geleer het was 'n trekker gewees.
Ja.
My pa was baie klein gewees nog voor ek fiets gery het. Het ek geleer trekker ry en kyk maar, as 'n verskil om op 'n plaas groot te word en natuurlik om te boer op 'n plaas. So ek het groot geword op 'n plaas, maar ons is kort daarna is ons stad toe meer in die stad in en my maat begin skool gee by 'n hoërskool in die Oosrand. So ja, wat ek van boerdery weet is nie baie nie. My pa het 'n slaghuis gehad, so ek ken bietjie meer die vleiskant van as ek sê van boerdery, ja.
So ons kuier vandag by 'n boer wat kiwivrugte organies verbou.
Eerstens wil ek vra organies, wat is die verskil tussen organies en
So die hele ding is, mense wil so min as moontlik chemikalieë gebruik wanneer jy in jou verbouing is, om dit so natuurlik as moontlik te doen. Dit is natuurlik baie meer kompleks, en daar's soveel minder produkte wat 'n mens kan gebruik. So die ideaal is eintlik om altyd daai geïntegreerde program te gebruik wat jy die beste van alle wêrelde gebruik. Maar as jy suiwer organies dit doen, beteken dit jy wil die natuur beskerm, jy wil so min as moontlik chemie gebruik. So ja, dit is nie maklik om dit te kan doen nie.
Maar wat is sy motivering? Hoekom organies?
Dit gaan oor dat die algemene mense se gesondheid vir hulle sê dat weet jy, ons wil meer natuurlik gaan, ons wil meer organiese produkte gebruik.
So om daai gifstowwe uit te haal wat nie noodwendig skadelik is, maar beperk moet word. Is ek reg?
Ja, is so goed dat jy dit sê, Gerard, want mense moet ook besef dat die chemie word met soveel verantwoordelikheid vervaardig. Die wetgewing is so streng. As jy dit gebruik in jou programme, dat daar verantwoordelikheid is om seker te maak dat die produk uitgewerk het in die tyd wanneer jy daai vrug of daai graan of wat ook al eet, dat dit in die totaliteit uitgewerk is, hy het sy werk en hy sy funksie verrig, want dit is nodig om dit te gebruik. Dit is al hoe moeiliker om gewasbeskerming te doen as jy nie gebruik kan maak daarvan nie. So ons sê gebruik die beste van die produkte tot jou beskikking en dit gebruik in 'n geïntegreerde program. Goeiemôre Jonathan, ons het nou hiernatoe gery en dit het lekker gereën. Dit lyk of julle oor die algemeen 'n goeie reën gehad het vir die jaar.
Yeah, we've had a very wet season.
Yeah.
We've had probably about 1,000 mils in 2 months. It's great for the dam. So our dam is filling up very nicely. Gone from 24% to 75% yesterday. So that's fantastic. Yeah. It's not so great for our kiwis. We're a bit nervous, but hopefully we'll be okay.
Hoe het jy by die boerdery betrokke geraak en waartoe is jy op pad?
Look, I've changed careers a few times in my life. So I started in IT long ago, studied in Cape Town, and then moved to London for a few years where my wife and I got married and we had our first kid. And her father bought this farm in 2009 and he offered us the opportunity to come and manage it. So we were looking for a reason to come back to South Africa. I'd never done farming before in my life, so I was a bit nervous, but it seemed like an interesting adventure to try. And we came over in 2011 with our child who was 4 months old and made the move from London to Nisboere. So it was a big change for us.
Twee wêrelde.
So my wife was very nervous. We weren't going to have any friends.
Yeah.
But it was a great move. Lifestyle-wise, it was very different. And it's a small community, but it's a really lovely community to be in.
Jy boer met goue kiwivrugte. Waarom het jy besluit om daarmee te boer?
So when we moved onto the farm, it was only doing blueberries. It was already organic certified. So we took over a blueberry farm. But at that stage, and it's happened more and more, there's a lot of blueberry farming happening in South Africa and a lot of new projects happening, and they're all big projects. So for us to compete, even with our organic premium, is very difficult against these big 50, 100 hectare farms. And so from early on, we were always looking for a different crop, something that would work in our climate was very important. We wanted to keep the organic status going. And so we were looking around for a couple of years, and someone in the area had planted golden kiwis. We went and had a look at their orchard and had a look at the numbers, and it made a lot of sense. It was very exciting.
Ek het nou daai woord organies 3 keer gehoor.
Ja, kok.
En wat ek wil vra is wat Philip vir my gesê, dis wat jy doen organies. Nou het hierdie kiwis van jou een of ander gevegkuns, karate kiwis of iets soos dit wat hulle bestand is.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's an argument that goes back and forth, and every year you'll hear a different story that organic is much better for you in terms of the fruit quality, and then you'll hear another one where there's no difference. I feel an organic fruit is going to beat a conventional fruit any day in terms of nutrient density. You know, it's a different mindset, it's a different way of farming. We're not doing it to make money. If I make the same amount of money as a good conventional farmer, I'm happy.
Beteken dit daai stempeltjie of daai plakkertjie wat jy op daai produk sit wat sê hierdie is organies, laat hom vinniger beweeg, dat hy nie lank op die rak gaan lê nie?
Yes, it does. You know, it's supply and demand. So at the moment, we're the only certified organic gold kiwi farm in South Africa. So there's just not a lot of the product available. And for those consumers who want an organic product, they're struggling to find it, especially in South Africa. It's starting to grow, and people are starting to get more aware of what organic means and the value that it adds. But it's still got a long way to go in South Africa. But we export 90% of our kiwi crop overseas to Europe.
Oh.
And there the organic space is thriving, and people do value it and look for the fruit. So our fruit sells when it gets to Europe very quickly. And I know marketing, especially on the kiwis, for me is the least of my problems. I know that fruit is sold before I pick it.
Baie wyse besluit gewees om, soos jy gesê het, dit was klaar kompeterend geweest met die blou bessies in jou omgewing om daardie skuif te gaan maak het om 'n gewas wat nis is aan te pak. Ek het 'n gas genooi, sy naam is Jonathan, en hy is een van ons verskaffers van MBFI om ons te ontmoet daar so binne in jou boer. En ek wil graag hê hy moet bietjie met ons praat oor gewasbeskerming en die groener opsies, want dis waaraan jy is.
Yes, that would be great. We're always looking for options and better ways to manage the orchard and achieve the good quality with organic products. So I look
Het jy 'n umbrella?
I do.
Philip Venter en Gerard Steyn besoek 'n kiwiplaas in die mistige Magubas kloofomgewing. Saam met hulle is Jonathan van MBFI en hulle gesels oor die organiese boerderybenadering en die produkte wat aan organiese boere beskikbaar is.
Jonathan, watse beperkings is daar wat verhoed dat jy optimaal kan produseer?
The thing with kiwis is your crop starts in the winter. So they go completely dormant. They lose all their leaves. You've just got some canes sitting there, and they look like they're doing nothing, but it's actually a very important time of the season because what's happening is you're getting bud development within the cane. And we're lucky here, we've got quite a nice cold winter and lots of chill units, and the more chill units you have, the better your bud development for the next season.
Hoe gaan dit daai tag affekteer, daai organiese tag affekteer as jy nou begin goedjies gebruik om die kiwis te beskerm teen die goggatjies en die dinge?
So if Jonathan's got a product that they develop and it meets the organic standard, they will get it certified, and I've just got to make sure whatever I use has got that certificate before I use it and is approved for organic use. So it doesn't mean we can't use any products. We do use some products, but whatever we use, we know has been certified and has been approved to be used on organic farms.
Met minder neeweffekte, met minder.
Well, probably with no side effects. You know, essentially, most of the products will be natural in origin, with no sort of chemical additives and no residues.
I think the residues are the big thing that we're talking about. The residues is something that obviously we as humans or as people, once you've consumed or you bought the fruit, you're consuming these chemical compounds. And we're trying to, I mean, even in more commercial farming as far as any other crops, we're trying to have less MRLs every year and making sure that we have less residues that we consume as humans. And it's a very important thing. So from a green chemistry or organic point of view, lower residues, it could be a residue, but it's a biological residue, which is not then toxic to humans and not toxic to our population.
Met ander woorde, hy behou sy organiese status.
Absolutely.
Is daar enige produkte wat jy in jou reeks het wat mens kan aanbeveel hierso?
Absolutely. There's a lot of products that we developed for many different things, from mildews to rust to botrytis, but we'll have to get to know Jono and make sure that we be technical about it, because from season to season it will change and our applications will also have to change. So it's not just a one glove fits all situation.
Ja, as jy iets in die ekosisteem verander, dan sal iets wat bykom, is ek reg?
Ja, jy tweak hierso nou.
And what Jonathan says is very important. Every season is different. There's different challenges that crop up. You know, we are very wet, as you can see. So root problems can be an issue, and some years will be worse and some years will be better. Nutrition is another big thing that I'm sure we could chat more about. Kiwis, they like nitrogen early in the season, and then potassium now when we're getting closer to harvest. So there's a lot of different things, and there's a lot of new products coming on all the time, which I think are very interesting to look at in the organic space.
So, John, I really like what you were saying about new chemistry, and the green chemistry is coming to the forefront due to the fact that people want to eat healthier food. And that's what we have to be driven as an input supplier or manufacturer of biological products or green chemistry products. We need to be driven to make sure that we can have as good a food, but with less residues. And that is the most important thing from MBFI side.
Wat ek ook wil aansluit is, as ons praat van hierdie, ons wil meer voedsame voedingsstowwe in ons kosse hê, ons wil meer gekonsentreer hê, en jy het nou genoem van die voedingselemente, stikstowwe en die kalium en goede. Kyk jy na die algemene grondgesondheid ook dan nou?
Yeah, look, we're always trying to create a healthy ecosystem, and there's a lot of exciting developments now in the space of the trichodermas and the bacillus and the Pseudomonas products that maybe you can tell us a bit more about, where we can add to that healthy ecosystem.
Absolutely. Pseudomonas is really good for solubilization of phosphates in the soil, but also creates other dynamics which increases the resistance of your plant. Trichoderma is a really good biofungicide which can control or be able to parasitize on different pathogens in your soil. You were talking about Sclerotinia, for argument's sake. Now, we've just registered a new product by the name of Insight, which controls Sclerotinia really, really well. And we've done all these comparative tests against conventional chemistries on the marketplace. And that's really exciting, that we can compare our products to a conventional chemical. We don't want to, at the end of the day, just be a biological product.
Siri, wat het Jonathan nou net gesê?
Sorry, Gerard. We lost you a bit there, huh?
Ja, dit is 'n mondvol.
Ek sou baie graag wil hê ons is so tussen jou wingerd nou en laat ons dalk net een van die vrugte oopmaak, want ek dink almal het nou gesien dis die pragtigste vrugte, maar miskien wil ons net sien hoe lyk hy asseblief.
Sure, let's go have a look.
Beautiful crop hanging here.
Thank you. I think we've got an 18 to 20 ton crop, which per hectare, which is pretty good. It is possible to get to 40 or even 50 tons on gold kiwis. So, you know, if we can get to 30 tons next year, then we'll be very happy.
Ek dink die mense het besef, wel die kyker daar buite en ek myself het besef wat 'n groot werk hierdie is nie. Dit is een groot tuin hierdie, en dit is, as jy vir my sê jy moet daai periode of daai kiwi periode nou weer afbring, die oues afsny. Dis nie iets wat in elke huis
Look, we've made a lot of mistakes, and we've learnt. We've had experts from New Zealand and Italy. We've got very good established kiwi industries come and chat to us every year, and we've learnt a lot of those lessons. What we found, though, is it's not a recipe you can just take from New Zealand or Italy and try and get it to work in South Africa, because it doesn't work. We've got a different climate, you know, summer rainfall, much higher heat units, different sort of sunlight. So we've taken the lessons from them and we've seen where it works and where it doesn't work. And every year we've sort of learned the lessons from the previous year and improved. So it's still not perfect, but we're definitely getting better at it. So we're not ready to harvest yet, but this will give you an idea of where we're going. Sure. So as you can see, the colour's starting to develop. So still a bit of a green tinge on the flesh, and you can see the seed colours developing quite nicely. So what we want is a 100% black seed. So you can see there some of these seeds are still a bit light in colour. At the start of the seeds are all white. So the closer you get to harvest, you get to a black seed. And when you see lots of black seeds, it's also a sign that we've had good pollination. We measure the sugar levels, and when the sugar levels gets to the critical point, then we know it's ready to harvest. We pick it, keep it in the fridge for a couple of weeks, and the colour develops nicely, and then the sugars get to a really nice eating level.
Baie dankie Jonathan, dis baie leersaam geweest. Ja, kom ons geloer in by die proefplaas.
Ontmoet vir Boer Boon, die knaap wat aan hierdie opwindende en insiggewende proef onderwerp gaan word. In hierdie seisoen van Nisboere gaan Laveld Agrochem en sy vennote die impak wat hul onderskeie insetprodukte op gewasse se opbrengspotensiaal het op die proef stel. Die gekose proefgewas is die nederige groenboontjie. Ons gaan 2 boontjiesade in aparte groeibokse met gewone grond plant. Maar ons gaan 'n verskeidenheid insetprodukte by die tweede boontjie se grondmengsel voeg om die boontjie se opbrengs te optimaliseer. En dis die boon se loon wat groot pryse vir ons kykers kan beloof. Boer Boon se opbrengs aan die einde van die seisoen is nie net vanuit 'n oesoptimalisering en volhoubaarheidsoogpunt van belang nie, dis ook die sleutel tot die Nisboere Celeb seisoen kompetisieprys. Sonsafari kaartjies vir 'n gesin van 4. Die kyker wat aan die einde van die seisoen Boer Boon se opbrengs regraai, sal met die gesogte prys wegstap. Maar daar's ook 'n tweede weeklikse geleentheid om 'n geskenkbewys van die plaaswinkel of 'n eksemplaar van Nisboeke 1 in te palm. Ons gaan weekliks by Boer Boon inloer en verslag doen oor sy vordering. En na afloop van elke episode gaan ons 'n vraag wat met sy vordering verband hou onder aan die skerm plaas wat julle dan via WhatsApp kan beantwoord. Hou die episodes fyn dop en let op die kompetisiebesonderhede aan die einde van die program. Sterkte en lekker kyk. Kom ons gaan loer in by die manne, waar hulle met Jonathan by die Mountain Cafe op die plaas gesels.
Jonathan, jy het vanoggend toe ons daar aan die boord was, vir ons verduidelik dat mens verdien eenmal 'n jaar 'n inkomste uit 'n mens se kiwivrugte uit. Het jy ander bronne van inkomste wat jou help met jou kontantvloei?
Yes, we're a small farm, so we have to be clever about what we do, and I always try and look at what the potential of a farm is. So farming is an important aspect, but we're trying to create an agritourism sort of business. So we've got quite a few other income streams. We've got the restaurant, and then we've also got a product range that we do. So we've got a lovely blueberry jam. We've even got a gold kiwi jam, which is a new product.
Wys ons.
And then we've got a hot
Jy's 'n
sauce.
jam fan.
Ja, maar kom man.
So yeah, we're quite proud of it. It's only sold on the farm at this stage, but definitely opportunity to go further afield. And it makes sense, you've got the fruit on the farm,
Netjies, hè?
and then to add value to it and create some interesting products.
So wat is julle toekomsplanne?
The next step that makes sense for us is to look at accommodation. So we've got some beautiful views around the farm. We've got some forested areas which are quite secluded. So definitely what we're looking at is some sort of accommodation that we can have people. We've got a farm cottage that we have at the moment, but it'd be nice to expand that to a bit more. And then possibly a function venue in the future. It'd be another option that'll fit in very nicely with what we're doing and create that extra revenue.
En jy het gepraat van 'n musiekfees.
Over the last few years, we've developed the Berry Festival year after year, and we've had some live acts. So we'd love to make that into a bigger festival, and hopefully we can get some really big artists to join us next year.
Ek hoop ek word genooi, Philip. En kom maar kyk. Ek is hierso. Julle het my genooi, ek is hierso. Mense kom ondersteun asseblief plaaslike boerdery, natuurlik hier by Blueberry Heights, lekker konfyt, gold kiwi jam, blueberry jam en kyk uit vir daai musiekfees se datums. Ek sien dis 'n warm sousie, Mountain Wildfire. Sit maar jou toiletpapier in die vrieskas.
Gerrit, wat het uitgestaan vir jou vandag?
Of vir my eerstens die groot woord. Ek het nie al die woorde verstaan, ek het nie al die terme verstaan nie en dit is soveel meer as net om 'n saadjie in die grond te sit. Daar's baie bepalende faktore wat bykom. Natuurlik is dit passie wat 'n ou bring om so besluit te maak om so tipe boerdery te begin. Maar weer eens soos jy sê, dit gaan oor dit kan nie net die passie wees nie.
Ja.
Jy het 'n ondersteuningsnetwerk nodig.
Yep.
En soos jy kan sien, die ou kan nie alleenlik afhanklik wees van net die kiwis nie. En van die blou bessies nie. Hy moet ander dinge doen om homself natuurlik te onderhou, weet op hierdie pragtige landgoed. En dis hoekom hy die koffiewinkel gedoen het en die restaurant gedoen het en natuurlik daai musiekfees wat hulle besig om te reël.
Die feit dat daar 'n behoefte is vir organiese verboude voedsel, maak nie saak wat dit is of dit 'n vrug of 'n graan is nie. En dan die passie wat hy getoon het, dat weet dit is nie sy veld van ekspertise gewees nie.
Ja.
Maar jy het dit so mooi gestel dat hy het vandag die waarde gesien van tegniese ondersteuning wat 'n mens nodig het, want daar's soveel vakgebiede wat 'n mens met kundigheid dra en jy kan nie van alles weet nie. So maak gebruik van die struktuur wat beskikbaar is.
Absoluut. En ek bedoel, op daai manier kan 'n mens seker maak dat hierdie ou se opbrengs éventueel nog beter is, nog meer is en nog meer suksesvol is.
Ja, want hy streef dit nou, want soos hy sê, hy het nou 'n klaar doelwit bereik, hy's tevrede, maar daar's 'n geleentheid om nog te afskou. Dit klink vir my jy's nou so geïnspireer, né? Dat jy jou sangloopbaan gaan los en nou voltyds in die boerdery gaan inklim.
Ja, ek gaan nou liedjies skryf oor baby blueberries en ek bring goue kiwis vir jou. Ja nee, kyk, ek sal my mamma bepaal by die sang.
Ons wens boer Boon alle sterkte toe met sy groot groei uitdaging. Mag jou opbrengs almal se verwagtinge oorskry, meneer. Maar nou is dit eers tyd vir ons weeklikse kompetisievraag. Wat is die naam van die insetverskaffer wat in die program verskyn het? WhatsApp jou naam en van, jou tuisdorp en jou antwoord na 060 458 8483. Die wenner sal eerskomende maandag op ons Facebookblad bekend gemaak word. Besoek ons Facebookblad en webtuiste vir meer kompetisiebesonderhede, bepalings en voorwaardes.
Hoe oud is hierdie enetjie spesifiek?
So is ja, 'n dorrieboompie van min of meer 20 na 25 jaar.
Mooi
Stem uit te
mooi.
kry.
Shibie. Okay.
Ja.
Nee.
Pas op.
Nee.